Good morning. First, let me say, I'm going to have to just tell on myself that I got to talk to this sister, to anyone in this situation. We've all dated someone, and then for you're fortunate and you separate and go, okay, that's not truly who I was. I'm a person that doesn't live that way, so on and so forth. We've been attracted to guys that are a little on the bad side, and then you have babies by them. My two youngest daughters, who one's graduating, one's a freshman, praise God, their dad was rough. When I first met him, didn't think that, but I'm sure that's what I was attracted to, that mystique. But it really wasn't my reality. So I'm going to try to get quick and say, when they would visit their dad, when I quickly figured out we are not going in the same direction, my lifestyle was so overtly different. Yeah, I had to establish some straighten up, but especially the one that's a senior, I had to establish some straighten up when she was little because she'd come home with this persona. And I used to go, hold up, that's not the kid I'm raising. And since we lived in different states, 2 hours away, I wasn't able to see how he was living day to day, but I had to keep it real. I knew who he was. So, to counteract what she's going through, since mine are girls, they had me as an image, positive people in my life as images. Also, if this mother is dating again, what does he look like? What does her brother look like? What does her father look like? Do they also reinforce those images? Are they cussing, sagging, low riding, and that whole persona that this baby is seeing in his dad, his hero? So it's one thing to attack the father, but mom, you've got to check your whole life out. So if you're checking out the men in your life now, do they mirror dad? Do they reinforce dad's images? Then what videos are you watching? Because when my kids came home after visiting in the summertime, I didn't, in fact, there was a time I took cable out because that's just when videos started going really crazy. So there was so much that didn't reinforce him and his lifestyle that they would have a reality check just in their environment alone. If you want more for him, I'm praying with you. It takes a village. You're going to have to get everybody in your family on board. You're going to have to check your music, check the videos, every image your son sees. What goes through his eye gates, his ear gates, what you feed him in his heart. That is what, in the long run, is going to make him successful. Go to the daycare and have a meeting and say, here's who I am and here's what I'm trying to establish in my son. I need your help. And I'm glad they're calling you instead of just dismissing the child. And with him, as little as he is, because I have grandsons now, and one day God showed me I had to start talking to them like men because my 4-year-old grandson was arguing with my freshman. And it was funny. I'm like, why are you arguing with a 4-year-old? But you know how little kids are. They'll pull you in. And he was saying, I know this. And my daughter wasn't hearing it. And in that moment, God said, you have to talk to him like the man you're developing him to be. And I was sharing that with my daughter and her husband. I was like, you have to talk to them like the black men they're developing to be. That means if you want them respectful, you pour it in. And if he's coming home with a potty mouth and acting up, you whoop that behind, but then you look him eye to eye, get on your knees, humble yourself and say, who you are, so and so, is a beautiful, articulate, brilliant young black man, and they do not act that way. You're going to have to put your mama belt on, buckle in, because you're going to have to work hard. Do not give up. Do not get weary in well doing, but you have to get everybody to line up with your vision. That was probably my first kid. I had a vision. Then I had, my other daughter, and, you concentrate on being a good mother, but you really have to get a vision. Even if they don't grow up to be that title, if he's going to be an engineer, just put that out in front. Is he good with his hands? Is he keen to count all the time? Is he into colors? Find out what his innate gift is. Focus on that. So when he comes home, get him right back into his gift. Get him right back into groove. Don't even hesitate a day. And also, don't make the focus about what did you hear that at your dad's. Switch him totally up. You have to out psychoanalyze the kids. So when he comes home and he's acting a little rough, he said, oh, hello, little man. How are you doing? Future engineer, black congressman. Speak those affirmations because they are what you tell them they are. Once I start telling my grandson, you're an amazing black man. You're an amazing black man. And they don't act that way. Don't disrespect so and so. Black men don't do that. Go in there like a man and apologize. And I'm talking about this incident. His whole little countenance changed. His little back straightened up. Because once I spoke to who he was, he began to try to aspire for that. So, is it easy? In a way, yeah. Are you going to have your rough days? Absolutely. But it's the best job in the world. So, line up all the men in your life. Check out who you're dating now. When they have your baby in the car, what is he reinforcing? You deserve better. Your child deserves better. And let your child show you the standard. Make him the kind of black man that when he steps out, people say, whose kid is this? Who's your mother? He's your fruit. People will judge you, of course, by your child. And it's not just as potty mouth. Kids go through that. Like Ateya said, they're sponges. But you actually are going to give him more than this spurt of cussing he's going through. He's absorbing your spirituality, your morals, who you truly are. And I want you to look at that. Forgive yourself for dating someone who's contrary to obviously what your vision is now. Forgive the father. And when you talk to him, you got to be outdoing him mentally. You have to say, I know your goal is for our son to be blah, blah, blah. I know you love him, and language, the power of life and death is in the tongue. It's in your language. How you speak to that child and how you speak to his dad ultimately will get you what you want. What you pour into him, what you sow, shall you reap. Tell him he's exquisite. He's amazing. Tell him his color is beautiful, because trust me, honey, when they say you're fighting against principalities, it's no joke. It's all set up for him to hate himself, to loathe you, to loathe all other black women. But if you consistently beat him down with how amazing, powerful, the cartoons he watches, make sure there's some black cartoons, make sure the books you buy have black characters, make sure that you have black history in your home at all points in time. The library is your best friend. Rent good classic black movies that shows him images, because those images ultimately help him design who he is. And along with your verbiage and your life being right, are you smoking them little cigarettes? I'm old, I can't even tell you what they call, but how are you living? Because that's what's going to ultimately make a difference. And as my kids got older, just to end that, trust me, they love coming home where there was structure and bills are paid and the house is clean and mom is A, B, C, and D. And the images around them from the women and the caliber of people in my life were who they desired to be. And plus, I call them women. In fact, I picked up my friend's little girl, and she goes to a private school. She's one of, I don't know how many handful of black kids. So I'm picking her up and said, come on, young lady. And the little girl said to her, why does she call you young lady? Why does she call you that? And I said, because she is a beautiful, wonderful young lady. And I had to give that affirmation in her peer group, because I wanted that spirit in her to rise up to that, what I was calling her. And I'm really careful to tell children they're amazing and they're beautiful. You've got to continuously tell him he's an awesome young black man. Dress him accordingly. Again, everything you feed him should be a part of that vision. Everything in his life should be a part of a vision, Mom. Get a vision for him. He will be okay. And when you talk to Dad, if you ain't in love no more, you should be able to talk to him real easy and clear and say, so-and-so, I know your goal is, your desires are, living like that, what has it done for you? I respect you as a person. I respect you loving your child. We have to get together on a common goal. You're the woman. You have the power. You're an amazing, beautiful black woman, and I don't even have to know you. You're trying to raise a king. Live like a queen. You will raise a king. God bless you. Watch the people you run with, because that's also who your child is mimicking. Bye-bye.